Good morning all of you. Now today we are going to study depreciation under the Income Tax Act. And the relevant section governing depreciation deduction is section 32. Now in order to claim depreciation under the Income Tax Act, assessee is required to satisfy three basic conditions. As you can see, condition number 1 is ownership. Condition number 2 is that the asset should be used for the purpose of carrying on business or profession. And condition number 3 is that the asset should be used for the purpose of business for at least some time during the previous year. So guys, let's focus on these three topics. First one will take ownership. Now what do you mean by ownership? Ownership basically means a bundle of rights, which includes right to title, right of enjoyment, that is the right to use your property as per your wish, as per your will, the way you like to use it. Right of alienation means to sell, dispose of your property. Right to exclude others from the enjoyment of the property, etc. Now a person who owns or who has all these rights is called as an owner. And if you are the owner of your asset, like for example I am the owner of this building, I can claim depreciation on this building. So that's the first thing. You are the complete owner of a property, having all rights of ownership. But what will happen if I own the property in a co-ownership? That is, I am part owner of the building along with someone else. Say for example, Mr. A and Mr. B invest 50 lakhs each and they acquire a building. And then that building is used by them for carrying on business. Both are separate persons and both carry on their individual separate businesses. So the question is, can they claim depreciation? The code says yes. So in case of ownership, if the assessee is a complete owner, he can always claim depreciation. And even if he is a part owner, he can also claim depreciation on such asset. Now if A and B both use the building for their individual businesses, both of them can claim depreciation on their part ownership. However, if only Mr. A is using the building for his business, then what will happen? He has invested 50 lakhs along with his friend Mr. B, who has also invested 50 lakhs. So if A alone uses this building for his business, can he claim depreciation on 1 crore or only 50 lakhs? So guys, the answer is only 50 lakhs. So what about the balance 50 lakhs? That is co-owned by Mr. B. So obviously A cannot claim depreciation on that 50 lakhs. But what A can do is, he can pay rent. He can pay rent in respect of that part of the building to Mr. B, and Mr. A can claim deduction of that rent under section 30. So that's how, this is the first part. You can be full owner of the asset or you can be part owner of the asset. The second condition is beneficial ownership. Now as we saw, ownership is a bundle of rights, which includes the right of title as well as the other rights of ownership. The right of enjoyment, alienation, occupation, possession, etc. Now, in a case, if one person has title over the asset and the other person has got the other rights of ownership, and this happens in various cases. I'll give you one example, like a partnership firm. If a partnership firm invests its money to purchase a building, but is registered in the name of partner. Suppose there are 3 partners, Bipasha, Katrina and Farooq. If the firm invests money in this building, but the asset is purchased in the name of Mr. Farooq, so can the firm claim depreciation on this building if it is using it for its business?